This is going to be a bit more of an experimental video. Today, we're just going to look through 20 pet brands scaling on cold traffic and analyze mechanisms accordingly. We have this set up over here to start to go through, at least have a process, right? And some other things I want to talk about, right? As we think about launching products and, you know, just hanging out, having a nice chill time. And I think for me, the intention to do this is just for you to have something in the background playing while you are doing your marketing work. And maybe it does well, maybe it doesn't. I don't know, right? But I was contemplating between doing more aggressive ads, but I don't feel like getting compliance issues. So we'll start with pets before we figure out what's the next thing to look into as well. Again, this is not financial advice. Copy the recommendations at your own risk. And yeah, let's get to it. So first things first, we are going to figure out what the world of woof looks like. So we got our woofy furry friend over here. And today we're going to explore and see what the world of woof looks like from a guy who's just been launching a lot of offers. And yeah. Okay, so probably first thing that we'll do add library and then start looking for pets. Let's see. Okay. Where's my face? You know what? Screw it. Okay. I'm going to go for the United States. And after that, we're going to go to all ads, pet supplements. So at the same time, we'll go to pets, issues, health, problems, and what else can we start to think about? The different types of ways that dogs act up, the different visible problems of pets, and what else do we want to ask? Can start to look at common deficiencies, and medical leaders in pets. Maybe we focus on cats and dogs. Cats, dogs. What else? Conditions, skin, gut health, fur, et al. Zoom into the approach and explore problem. So while that's running, then we can start to look through the ads as well. And you know the drill, we're going to go for filters and look for ads that are running for at least, come on, why is another one to work? At least a couple weeks. And yeah, so we have all of this starting to come out. And yeah, okay. Medical layers, medical leaders, emerging leaders. So all of this, we can start to look at it later down the line as we develop product and content. So yeah, okay, come on, let's do this. April. We'll do 1. Apply. Okay, so probably just want to scroll through, look through Dr. Marty. Okay, what's this? So probably I see this. Okay, UGC ad. Oh, 42 minutes. Very interesting. Download. Let's make this. We'll put this into our file. VSL. VSL ads. Don't caffeine toxic. Okay. Uh, so we got a VSL. Let's see. We got some what do we, teaching and stuff. This is the very classic Gundry style ad that I'm seeing right now. Walking through the aisles and giving a very like honest review, what to eat, what not to eat. Kind of like that talk show host vibe. Right. Okay, we got some interesting words here. Sickness, depression. So we are going to anthropomorphize our dogs and treat them as humans. Um, I think that this ingredient listing or like hidden secret ingredient that we need to look into is definitely something that I keep seeing nowadays. It's the 11th of April, so that's something that I'll pay attention to. Okay, let's take a look at just all the different creatives. Right, we have maybe a hook here. We got a scene at a shop. We got his house, a bunch of graphics, another place, talk show, dog whisperer, celebrity proof, some explainers, consumer affairs, news articles, and we got our whiteboard presentation style. Probably here we can look at the mechanism. Maybe there's a mechanism. Um, this looks like an expose slash documentary style. Now we go back to the whiteboard. Uh, maybe some facts. Additionally. So as I'm looking at this, what I start to think about it, right? It's like, okay, why are we kind of like using all of these facts together, right? What's the story that we're telling when it comes to pet health? Okay, so now we kind of know it's like gut, right? So okay, in order to talk about the gut, say later down the line, right here, something like that, easy digestion, right? Okay, so if I want to talk about a problem relating to the gut, then what's going to happen is that I have to talk about all the different types of foods that are getting processed. Right? So that's the kind of logic that I would like start to see as I look at a pet supplement or a digestion offer. Yeah. So yeah, that'd be interesting. Another layer or another lens that I would start to look at is how this is maybe also related to the food industrial complex, right? So we start to take a look at maybe oh, this is a 24-second one. We can take a look. So I'd start to also look at looks like a nice optimized e-commerce page, very chill, very clean, nothing to go absolutely bonkers about. So let's say I look at this guy. Where's our guy? So let's say I look at Dr. Marty and how he's commenting on the industrial food complex. What I would think to myself is, okay, now that he's starting to talk about the industrial food complex, then who are some people that are doing it well, right? What are some of the things that might be communicating this? Or who are some people? Right? Then this maybe is public knowledge or like personal knowledge. So it would be Evo Food Supply, Jake Tran. So I look into this guy, and then we go Evo Food Supply. So yeah, then we look into this, right? Then maybe for the VSLs, I'd say, okay, what kind of visuals are being used? Hello, hello, more that. Right. Okay, come on, next. I start to look like, okay, what kind of visuals are being used? How is this documentary style being put together? Right? What is the story that's being put together here? And, we can look at the frames, look through that. Okay, okay, obesity, it's red meat, bad for you. So, okay, let's look at this framing, right? Is red meat bad for you? Actually bad for you? So maybe there's a hoax. We're looking to tell the story of maybe a misinformation campaign. We're looking to seed some doubt. Right? So how do we systematically take out that entire red meat psyop slash propaganda? Right? So let's say this is way too like too many big words. So what I would say is to, if you might want to like decode something and stuff like this, okay. What are some of the narratives around dog food that are expose worthy? worthy? I'm thinking of red meat and that entire conspiracy and seeing the link between the two. Right? So then I would put something in like that, and then so now that's gonna run. Uh, yeah, and then we can look into the regulation and the policies, and then zoom into that later down the line. Yeah, so that's one. Okay, cool. Let's see what else we have. So top supplement brands. This is another one. We go through more pet veg. Okay, we got different types of pets. Mind you, I have no idea what pets. I don't have a pet myself, so this is all completely like new to me. Right? Uh, so we got pet supplements and FDA. Probably what I'll look at is okay. Yep, doesn't say anything. Okay, let's see a species. So this is how the throat, like, you know, cause of prey, popular. Why pets with no diets, home touch group. So I think that this, what we can start to do for all these top videos, is look at the lead, right? So the first 15 to 30 seconds for all of these videos. Okay, interesting. Uh, this is like a new style for new one. Anyway, public safety. And then I guess we yeah, so I have that. Okay, so back to the pet video. Skip. Okay. Yeah, as you can see, probably this is something that you'd like to model as well. You want to look at all of these, how they're telling the story, and then you can look at the comments as well. This is just another layer that you can add into your marketing tool. So let's see what is the transcript? Is it going properly with pet food? Kibble, and that. So maybe what I do for is like the references for all of these videos. I look for like how they're building the argument. So what's the line of argument as well? If we look here, growing problem, start here, I, yeah, so there's like this paradox here that's very interesting. Like that idea of taking back control of your diet, right? So what I would think about when it comes to this is, I think my A is a bit crazy right now, but anyways, um, how I would think about this is like, okay, I see that there's a conversation that's happening when it comes to homemade pet food. It sounds like they want to project their ideas of paleo onto their pets, and you can see like nature's blend. Yeah, so there's an idea of this like back to the original, back to our natural state kind of idea. So that's something that you look into nature's blend, right? So yeah, that's just, look at that later. Okay, let's look at this guy too. Something that's blah blah blah. That's a pretty new get rid of diarrhea, stress, anxiety, mental health, foggy depression, something for everything. Oh, let's see. Home apparently home cook seems to be a pretty big thing. Right? So maybe you can start to think about like what does that idea of home cook do for people? I would like write down a question here. Um, why do people want to home cook? Why why not just like supplement them up? Would it be an like identity thing? Like like they're playing the role of nurturing something and they want to be present for their pets, etc. And what is the emotional complex behind behind this urge to take control of their pets' diets and to treat them like kings slash queens. So yeah, that's one. Okay. Yeah, I think as you do your research, uh, you know, it's not so much about looking for a copywriting framework, right? Everyone has that right now, and just copy and paste everything, and technically any copywriting framework. But the question is really like, okay, thinking about the underlying stuff behind all of this, right? Behind the pet, behind this composition, behind all of these ideas, behind everything here. What is the direction or the thrust of the argument that they're trying to make, right? That's what you want to be looking for. So um, again, this is like a very human offer. Right? It looks to me that this is my first time doing pets, so it looks to me that this is something that you eat as a nootropic. So now they bend it to tea and tick defense. Yeah, really mad. Nootropic, immune system, flea and tick defense, holistic veterinarians. Okay, safe, sure. The more super ingredients, the comparison chart. What else? Yeah, that's about it. Okay, back to pets. On that list. Mhm. Seems that there are pet gadgets, pet grooming tools. That's another thing. So we will be like, okay, what are all of the different types of pet gadgets has variations in the market? Right now, we have subs, we have brush. What else is there? And can you help me to think that entire stack of possible variations and permutations of this tool? Right. So then after that, we can get more keywords that we can use for research. So Amazon finds, yeah, interesting, interesting. So now as I look at all of this, right, I think to myself, how would we start to package all of this together? So we've got all of these products coming together, right? How would we, um, what's going on here? Yeah, how would we create products around this nano colloidal silver. Colloidal silver. I have a guide for purple and stuff. Having colloidal and like having too much colloidal silver. So looks like there's some like antibacterial stuff. Uh, oh, that's interesting. I want to look at this. So I got colloidal silver. Uh, the allergy, hidden joint, old man. Okay, we got our stuff here. Wearable, fashion. That's still going. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Classy. Yeah, you got your whole product stack, right? So what's that? Um, yeah, interesting. Yeah. Bam, 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 bam. We have a chat GPT thing here. Same thing. Natural defense. Okay, I think I want to look at the colloidal one. That one's interesting. Colloidal over for pets. Dogs are omnivore. Yeah, so we can use this to start to think about products as well. Okay, so now we got like one product, colloidal silver. We can check that later for, so we can see, check, 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 colloidal silver, and what its uses are and why it's also something that's interesting for pets, and see if it hits or not. So yeah, live forever, human grade. Okay, I can look at that. Okay, so it start to save these pages as well. Yeah, the food review here. Save this too. This one as well. This one too. So for this, how I would approach it is just popular, sort, and rank. And then if you need to analyze, just copy all the headlines and then look at the view count as well. So that would be another one that you could see and sort it out. We've got Pub Labs too. This guy's a top G copywriter. And yeah, he runs this Pub Labs. We can see if there are ads running too. So what is this? I think this is a yeah, I can skip that. Okay, this one's not important. So yeah, now we go down the colloidal silver route. And look through here too. I think all of this is something that we can look at. So we got all of this. You can copy, put this back in. Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of gut health kind of stuff. Colloidal silver. Pets. Colloidal silver? Okay, probably not something that's interesting. Pet gadgets. Yeah, so as we're looking through this, all of these products right now, what's gonna happen is like it's gonna get you're gonna have a lot of stuff to go through, right? And most of the time right now, what I see is that as we write more ads, as AI gets a little bit better, what's going to happen is that you're going to have an abundance of product ideas, right? You're going to have an abundance of new things that you could possibly be running. And the question is just really being efficient with like what you want to do. This one looks good. This page looks very, very nice. Looks very like CRO, right? I think that, I don't know, this one looks pretty good. I like this one. This is like taste intuition, but it looks good, right? Very clear color branding scheme. We got our doggy here. And very, very nice. We got comparison, vets, bestsellers. This looks good. So makes it feel as if you're ordering takeout food for yourself. Looks so good that I would want to eat it. But yeah. So probably you put this in and say, okay, interesting design. Take note of the color / what else would we have? The structure? Yeah, that would be that for the pets. Then what else? Dog food revealed. Okay, let's look at pet gadgets. Pet supplements. Cushing's. I got a medical issue now. Adrenal support that they deserve. Balance has caused this whole level. Okay, so what is Cushing's? What is Cushing's? And how does it work? Okay. Hypoadrenochondrism. Okay, so now we kind of know what Cushing's is. Then let's see how Prana Pets. What's this? How Prana Pets is bringing up this idea of Cushing's. And see if they are running a lot of ads. 32 ads. Okay. Is your dog blah blah blah. Cushing's nervous system, cold, kidney health. Cold symptoms of heart, easy breathing. Okay. I think it's generally quite compliant. These ads are pretty compliant. Probably we could look at improving what codes look like for dogs first. Right. I think that this is generally a bit more of an e-commerce store, so it's a little bit less direct responsey. So maybe an advertorial before this that looks at the common cold. Let's see if they have an advertorial. Nope. Let's see. Glucosamine. Seems like the formula is take the problems that old people face, put them onto your dog, and then sell that as a solution. And yeah, that's probably one thing that you can use to run for your pet store. It's not too bad. Right, kidney issues. I think the only question or like the critique that I would have for this would be like, okay, how do we know what kidney issues are like, or like how can we do that, right? Of course, let's see, it's a consultation call. Okay, probably I'm not gonna book this. It's not very nice. Okay, they have conditions. Cushing's. Did they give me any information? Okay, we do. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yeah, I think it would just be interesting to be able to like tell the story of Cushing's, then that would be something that would be better. I also would pass. Hair was thinning, skin was becoming scaly and flaky. Frankly. Okay. So for this, we have like skin issues, uh, coat care, mobility, coat care, and shoes. 4-in-1 support. This looks like B vitamins, or like multivitamins. Interesting. I think as I look at all of this stuff, the question that I'll start to ask myself is like, how do all of these customers know about what's the context that they have, right? Okay, peanut, I get that. Shiny coat and healthy skin, I understand this. But like, what do they know about this joint health stuff? How much do I need to know about this? And it seems that they are doing a blog style, so maybe that's how they solve the problem. And then we increase the legitimacy from there. But yeah, so that's one. Okay, what else? I think what I want to look for is all the VSLs on pets. Okay, pet store, pet supplements. You can look back in time a little bit better too. See if it's true. We've got bundles here. You can probably start to categorize the different types of bundles as well. So, okay, Rob Lowe, who are you? You look like a VSL to me. Limping dogs. Warnings. Let's clean this up. Okay, one of them. Was one. Okay. Okay. Cool. Interesting. Okay. Looks like another optimized CRO page. Interesting. Yeah. Coming from a direct response guy. Honestly, I have no idea how this compares to like long form VSL and those kinds of offers, right? So yeah, okay. I think you can start to see that even in the e-commerce ads, you should put your own website there. And yeah, let's see what else. Launch your own supplement line. All right. Now I got pet supplements, vet care. Who? What does Chuck Doris? Interesting. Let me add this one too. Okay, it's another prebiotic supplement. Okay, so it's liver So as I look, let's say if I want to go deeper into this, oh, yeah, gut bacteria, supplements, Roundup. Interesting. We've got pesticide and stuff. Yeah, so it seems like it's going back to the evil food supply narrative, right? What else? Well, probiotics. Looks like you got a lot of probiotics. I think I'd probably look into probiotics as well. Um, hmm, hmm. Yeah, it seems that, maybe if your dog's not behaving properly, you just like start to panic. I think what I would start to think about as well is like the panic cycle as we so like some just very simple questions, right? Like I would ask, okay, when do I know something is off? You know, be like, okay, when do I know something is off? And then after that, we would start to like help them to realize that the world of wolf is coming crashing down and that we need to do something about it. So yeah, that would be that. And what else would I look at? Mm-hmm. Got another Dr. Matthew. Lumps, mushroom powder, lumps and bumps. This one looks interesting. Better healing. Natural dog company. Yeah. Skin and foot supplement. Results. Benefit. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now that we have a few main products, all these ways to approach this problem. Yeah, we've got a lot of different products that we could launch, right? Say that you wanted to be a pet supplement store owner or whatever. Um, can't recommend. My dogs have sent me a That's funny. Um, yeah. Okay. What would I do? Yeah. Okay. So now that we kind of get a sensing of the pet market, let's see if we can add some pet journals too. Are there any pet journals? Are there any pet journals? Okay. So we got a few here. Looks like we should have consultants and proofs as well. So I think another thing that we could look at from the ad library is to pull uh, from what was I going to say? Yeah, look at the different types of gurus on these, and then we can start to look at all the different origin stories, all the different ways that they communicate their brand. Like, oh right, I'm a doctor, I'm a this, I'm a that. Learn a bit more about how this person works, right? You don't need to follow any specific direct response framework. It's just like really just taking a look and getting to see what all of these. This is Rob Lowe guy. Rob Lowe supplement. Ultimate pet nutrition. Interesting. Okay. Oh, he's an actor. No, I'm not gonna reveal my phone number. So, yeah, okay. I think now we are starting to come to the harder bits of this video, which is how do we start to construct arguments for pets, right? And how are we going to launch 20 different products in the pet market, right? How will we think about this problem? Um, okay. I think that as you look through this, what we want to see is categorized by problem, by proof, by mechanism, and then we can look into the future to see like which brands are doing well for that. I know it sounds like gibberish right now, but like basically, okay. So what we'll do is types of pets. Then we go types of problems. Then we go how often the problem is taught, how the problem is framed in marketing. Then after that, if you want to get fancy, um, look at the CRO slash style of the pages. This is for more of your ecom guys. Then what I would do next, what's this? Freeze dry. Uh, you look at all the offer types, bundle deals, bundle deals, deals. We look at the depth of explanation, nation slash hard selling in the product. Uh, and yeah, yeah, we look for that, and then we would sort this out. Sort this entire list by the highest to lowest confidence. So what I would say is like, okay, um, I probably have a list of maybe at the end of this, maybe like 10 to 20 pet products. Then I would, what else would I have? Yeah, I would start counting all of the possible, all of the angles slash spin, right, for each product. And then I would look at the merits of each of the spins. So to do this, I would use Edward Bernays propaganda, and how he talks about the different stamps or like signs of approval. So I want to get into this signs of approval stuff. So how I mean this is a very like meta question, but it's more of okay, what about this format here gives me trust, right? So what is it that I trust about this form of storytelling and advertising? And why is this something that's engaging to me, right? Because now, you can copy and swipe everything. But then how can we start to look at the types of credibility that's embedded within each of these frameworks? So to explain that in a simple way, right? Okay, So we have a celebrity and Chuck Norris. Maybe that's just a hook, right? And then I think what I would do, like what I would focus on the most is why this grocery shopping style is taking off, right? And the big questions that I will ask myself, big questions that I would ask myself is number one, why is everyone selling pet food or like gut health, right? I will ask myself maybe why skin health, and how everyone is dealing with the problem of identifying their dog's illnesses, right? So how is that entire perception being managed by the end user? So that's what I would start to think about. Then once I start to get a sense of that, so what that would mean is like, okay, now I understand how people are explaining problems to themselves. Um, so if you can see the way that I write copy, it's a bit different, but it just helps you to get a very like deep understanding of all the most important questions that you need to answer in your copy. So the- how am I understanding my dog, and how am I how am I interpreting the signs, right? And what are some signs that are hard to decode? Because, for example, if there is specific signs that are like maybe a bit confusing, then you could offer clarity, right? So if there are like, specific conditions that could be this, could be that, and that it could be 5 different things and 5 different solutions, then your ad could be more effective by being able to suggest like the different 5 ways that might happen, or lead them to your solution necessarily. And yeah, so once that's done, um, I would start to see like, okay, uh, let's say it's gut health. Once that's done, yeah, I would like create maybe like 3 to 5 SKUs. I would have 5 big ideas or like assumptions about consumer behavior, and then find some product that represents that, and then build and launch them out together, and also copy all of the UGC frameworks. I would run through, so just uh, checklist to run a pet brand, how I would approach it. One is all problems, all supplements, all framing of problems, why I think other marketers want to use this problem. So this is like thinking 2 steps ahead. Is it accurate or not? Why or why not? What are the gaps? Then I would look for credibility. Create a credibility indicator list for pets in terms of what's important, i.e., how people believe in what's right and wrong. And then after that, I would write the sales letter. The sales letter plus creative plus UGC, etc. Right? And then before I launch, I would have 10 to 20 swipe files of annotated analysis of why I think creatives do or do not work. This is the creative side. And then we have the different types of product pages, and then also the different types of gurus that you want to use. So then we'll just like pick the best from all of this, and then launch the offers accordingly. So yeah, that's the approach I would use to solving this pet portfolio construction problem. And yeah, these are just some of the ads that I think are interesting. Did we hit 20? Yeah, ish, kind of. But yeah, so with that, we can solve a lot of the other problems. Yeah, and then also figuring out what all the different types of food variations there are as well. So yeah, once that's done, this will basically turn into a glorified Excel sheet, and then you get to launch to your heart's content. All right, that's first video for me today, looking through mechanisms and just my live, unfiltered thoughts. Not sure if this is something that is digestible, but hope that it was cool and somewhat enjoyable. And if it works, we can do it more next time.